and we are live right this instant. And there he is. All you get's a glimpse of the enigma. He's such an enigma. Orc is such an enigma. To see more of Orc, super chat $.
Yep.
We'll get you more glimpses of Orc, and I will twerk for every super chat donation. One twerk, and I know everybody wants to see that.
Oh no!
Okay, so it's totally worth it. That twerking is totally worth it. Anyway,
and from what I understand, your twerking is better than any truffle shuffle that Chunk could ever do.
Yes, my twerking is better than any cam girl on YouTube's. I'm a twerk. I'm like a magician when it comes to the twerking. So. Anyway, we are live. Hello and welcome to Vlogcast number 11. I'm your host, Pizzell, your old buddy. And joining me tonight for this episode, I have got Cameron from the Obnoxious and Anonymous Show. How are you doing, Cameron?
Doing wonderful. Thank you so much for doing this video. I've been looking forward to discussing these topics with you for quite some time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, awesome. And joining me also, you got just a small glimpse of him at the very beginning, the Enigma. How's it going, Orc?
What's up, homies?
I was just thinking, Orc, that if you gave us any more image, YouTube might file a copyright strike against us. So thanks for keeping it under 8 seconds.
Okay, well, we'll do another one here real quick. I don't want to fuck up my webcam though.
Well, I was going to ask Orc for a health update, but he's unplugged his camera, or he's unplugged his microphone. There he is. There he is.
But he can't talk, or he has to talk in order for it to cut to him.
I don't want to make noise like that you just heard.
That was just a glimpse of the beauty that is Orc, the charismatic enigma. But how's the health, Orc? How's the back? How's everything going? Are you feeling better?
No, lower spine / ass is doing okay, but I think this whole year is just going to be a write-off. I just want to be able to sit again, and I might get more stitches out in a few days, so that's good. But I think this whole year is just kind of fucked. But if I can just like sit awkwardly on the couch and enjoy movies and TV again, which I haven't really been able to do that much, yeah, I'd be pretty happy. So, but you know, such is life. Everyone's got their shit, but it's going all right, I guess.
Okay, well, hopefully you'll get those stitches out soon. So,
yep.
And Rambo Raff just joined us. How you doing, Rambo?
Doing all right. Sorry that I'm a bit late to this. I was busy trying to clean up this computer so that it'll be working properly. So this old ass computer, 2010.
Not a problem at all. Not a problem at all. We just got things started. So. But how have you guys been? Have you guys seen any good movies lately? Rambo, I know you saw Wonder Woman. We'll talk about that soon. Hold in that rage until later.
I'm calm.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm calm.
Okay, good. Well, actually, before we even get started, I wanted to Orc and I were talking about a topic that I mentioned briefly in our last vlogcast regarding the new Call of Duty World War II, and the rumor was that they were removing all Nazi imagery from the game, even though it's a World War II game where you are ostensibly fighting to remove swastikas from the game. Pretty much today, that was confirmed. They're going to have a World War II shooter. However, there will be no Nazi imagery, and I'm wondering if they're even
swastikas, but there will be Iron Crosses because that's all they had in World War II. Kappa. Yeah.
They'll have Iron Crosses. Exactly. They'll have Iron Crosses, just no swastikas. And I'm wondering honestly if they'll even use the term Nazi at all.
Crown.
Okay.
Well, why don't they just do what they did in Wonder Woman and just have it be in World War I before there was Nazis?
Because that makes sense.
they wanted World War II because World War II was a very popular war, at least in Call of Duty. That was some of the people's favorite games. Call of Duty games occurred in World War II, so they want to take it back to World War II, but they just want to retcon out a lot of the, you know what I mean?
Right.
Swastikas. I don't know.
They weren't Germans; they were Italians. They're just changing that too.
Remember when MGM made their remake of Red Dawn, and it was China that attacked America, and then they realized, oh crap, we need that China money, so they made it Korea. And it took 4 years for them to release it, and they changed all the flags, and because they said Korea can't invade us.
Korean movie market's not quite as bustling as the Chinese movie market. So
you need power to play movies. That's the whole difference.
You need Dennis Rodman to play movies.
You need to feed your people first, so they can afford DVD players. And you know
how sad is it that Dennis Rodman, the American spokesman in
is a hero,
South Korea,
patriot.
You know what I mean? I don't know what he's doing over there, but they love the worm. You know what I mean? They love the worm.
Well, Kim Jong-un is a douchebag, but you know he likes good movies. I'll give him that. He likes Rambo and Friday the 13th and Halloween. But,
maybe just a big fan of Simon Says with Dennis Rodman.
That's a good possibility. That's a good possibility.
Him and Dane Cook.
I think he looks at his old tattoo magazine articles where he's like naked and shit, probably at night, if I had to guess. Hey, Dennis.
He wishes his hair was neon.
But Rodman could take out that little chubby guy with like one stomp if he wanted to.
You would think so, yeah. Does anybody want to say anything about the passing of Adam West? We recently lost the original Batman.
Unfortunately, I didn't grow with the Batman TV show, so I'm just wondering if there's people on this panel who did. So what your memories of it?
I grew up more. I remember the movie more so than the series. I remember watching the series. It would come on like Nickelodeon, Nick at Night. You know what I mean? But I remember watching that movie a lot more.
I will say though the Blu-ray set that they released a short time ago, that big box set. They really cleaned up that show so well that like if you watch it, it's like watching like a brand new TV show. I mean, I remember seeing it on TV once in a while, and it was back when you actually had to get up and turn the knob on your TV. There wasn't
old school.
Where you actually had a UHF channel, and it just looked like an old show, and it was like, okay, I was more interested in Tom and Jerry than looking at this old weird show,
Well, you can't beat Tom and Jerry. I mean, this guy's a legend.
Right. Yeah, but then when you get the Blu-ray set and you look at it, and then you watch the first episode, which is something I'd never seen, and they establish, like, even though it is a comical tone, at the beginning of it really gets into the fact that Bruce Wayne lost his parents. He's in this mansion, and he's got this, butler Alfred. And that was something that they never like really touched on the rest of the series, but like it begins dramatically. And then all of a sudden when him and Robin jump into action, it becomes funny. But, I was happy to see that all the other people that have played Batman really came out and showered him with praise and stuff. And that was, they didn't have to do that, obviously they know it's good publicity, but it seemed genuine. So.
Yeah, I agree. That was a nice showing. I saw, even saw Val Kilmer come out and show Adam West some love. So,
yeah, well,
he's kind of on topic, but veering off a little bit. Like with the shooting in Colorado, I was living there at the time, pretty close by, probably within like a 25-minute drive. And when Christian Bale came out and he visited a few of the survivors in the hospital, thought that was a very nice thing for him to do. He didn't have to do that at all.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people, probably just as many people today know Adam West from King of the Hill as they do from Batman.
Was he in Family Guy too? I think he was like a mayor or something, or
no? I'm sorry. It's Family Guy, not King of the Hill. It's Family Guy. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. I got those two confused. You're right. Yeah, Family Guy.
But you know what? For a long time, that especially when the Tim Burton Batman came out, there was kind of this, I don't know, maybe because it was just a new thing, but there was almost kind of this thing in society where let's just sweep that old 60s Batman away, and it's got this 60s stench to it. Now we're in the Tim Burton world and all that. And so it was nice to see in the last, like, I don't know, 10 years or so, people kind of embracing it, but I don't know if they're embracing it ironically or unironically, but it got so big that Adam West and Burt Ward came back to voice an animated movie that DC did called Return of the Caped Crusaders, which is hilarious because they're throughout that movie they're just bashing the Nolan Dark Knight films. and I don't know, there seemed to be a lot of love for Adam West and Burt Ward in the last few years, which is something I didn't ever feel growing up. Like, it just kind of felt like people forgot about that old show. So obviously with the invention of the internet, there's fans of everything, but so it was nice to see that, that people really did care about the guy, even though for so many years it felt like they wanted to sweep him away. So,
yeah. Well, I do recall when the Burton Batman was coming out, there was the cartoon, the animated series was huge. And I don't remember seeing, on television at all, other than it being, made fun of for the Bat 2C or for Biff, Boom, Pow, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. But there was definitely, I think, a renaissance that was sort of spearheaded by that box set. That's a very nice box set as well. I kind of wish Big Movie Mike was here because I know he bought that box set. And I think he was a fan of the of the original series growing up. So.
Also, because it was kind of filmed in Technicolor, it really pops on Blu-ray. I mean, it's just, you look at it, it's like, wow. And Warner Brothers did a great thing because when they put it out, they realized that they had forgotten to put some of the promos on there, and they could have just let it go. Like, all right, well, it's out, whatever. No, they said, no, send back your disc. We'll replace them. And, I always I don't like having to do that. It's a big hassle, but I always love when companies go that extra mile and replace your disc for free.
Because Batman's the shit and he's in right now because it's the cool thing. But if it's anything horror, especially slashers, go fuck yourself.
That's not true. The Halloween box set, they sent replacement discs. So.
They did. Yep. That was for Halloween 4. Yeah. So.
I always remember Pizzel's story on Nightbreed.
Well, between him and Dead Pit, oh my lord.
Yeah, the Nightbreed limited edition box set and then the Halloween limited edition box set were some of the greatest video topics of all time.
Oh my god! If you
I need to make a playlist and just watch them all in one day.
Yeah, a good laugh is that Dead Pit video where they got the Halloween box set for free. They ordered it for like 13. Yeah. They ordered it for like whatever, like $25 or whatever, and then they got refunded too.
Yeah. And then what was even better is the rage videos where people are like, oh look, I got all the DVDs, and they put it in like a shitty box set, and they're like, oh look, I got it for free, and they're just like raging because they didn't get lucky at the certain time. That was pretty funny.
Well, I've told Piz the story that his Nightbreed video, I know for a fact, was shown in several English classes across like United States, and they made the class write essays about whether Piz was correct or not to keep the box set. I got messages from English teachers saying, wow, thank you for sharing that video because we used it in class. I have 30 essays. I'm like, I almost want to get some of them and send them your way to see.
That would be still having good content.
That would be interesting. Yes.
Yeah.
I'd have to do a whole video reading them.
But you know what? Every single person that condemned you for keeping it, I'm thinking, come on, they all would have kept it. They all would have kept it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, with anything, especially collectors, when people get jealous of another collector because they got, a box set and it was, $50 off, but they got it for $80 off, they're like, well, that's just not humane, dude. It's fucked up. You're just not cool, man. It's like, okay, so you're jealous is what you're saying. Okay, gotcha. Like I'm a collector as much as anybody, but jealous collectors make me pretty triggered. I'll say that for sure.
Because let me tell you something, Piz. I have more respect because if the company makes a mistake, the company makes a mistake. Because what I got was someone did mail it back. And so I got my set that I ordered, but I got someone's used version that Amazon decided to send me. Right. And I looked at it and I'm like, look, I'm happy to have it, but I wish the person who had it kept it because I didn't want someone's sloppy seconds. I wanted, I ordered the real thing.
Well,
that was the point.
Yeah,
that was one of the points I made in the video. If the people who send those back, the people who really ordered them, you're getting an open basically a secondhand copy. Do you want to pay that much money for what's essentially a used Blu-ray now?
Hang on, real quick. Wasn't it $80 too?
It was like, it was like $80-$90.
And my big issue with it was that they made it. It was $80 for a 5,000 pressing, but then when they upped it to 10,000, that theoretically should mean the price drops to 40 because they had already priced it to make their profit at 80. Right? Mm-hmm. No, they kept it. They just kept it at 80, of course. But I think Scream Factory really learned a lesson from that because they have not done that since. I don't think. Nope. So they learned, because they got complaints. It seemed like they lost money on that, and I think for a lot of people got ticked off because they went that extra mile to get that director's cut, and then that day it dropped on Netflix the day it came out.
And that's how I saw it for the very first time.
That's true. And what was interesting too was the correspondence that Scream Factory, like you got, I don't want to say a threatening email, but kind of a semi-threatening email, followed up by an early Saturday morning phone call. Mm-hmm. From a representative. Yes. And, that's, I don't know.
Well, you heard that. I'm sure you've heard the story what Michael Felsher told CK on Dead Pit, where they said, we're going to send you a box for you to mail it back, and CK said, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to shit in the box and send it back. And Felsher told him, he said when he read that, he knew that they had gotten scratched off the Scream Factory screener list. And then Dead Pit was gone. So
Scream Factory took a hit out on them. Scream Factory's powerful. It's a wonder they didn't come after me. Me too. But
you can't have a successful radio show when you have to actually buy all your movies too soon.
I would assume that video was one of your biggest like most watched videos on your channel recently.
It was pretty. Yeah, it had quite a few views. It was also very. What's the word? It was very.
Would you say the thumb ratio is pretty split? Like
controversial?
Pretty split. Yeah. I was actually looking for controversial is a good word, but yeah, it was definitely split. And I think probably 90% of the thumbs downs were people going, "Damn, I wish I'd gotten that one too." Yeah. You know what I mean? Why couldn't I? It wasn't like a moral thing. Like, oh, he's wrong morally, I'm going to thumb this video down. It was like, oh, lucky son of a, and they thumbed the video down. Yeah, that was an interesting video. That was just an interesting.
Just in general, jealous collectors just crack me up, though. It's just like, oh, you got that Hellraiser sphere, like the old DVD one that goes for hundreds now. It's like, okay, that's cool. I think that's awesome you have that in your collection. But instead, people are like, wait, gotta get ready for it. No, this is fucking stupid. I want it now. Send.
Yeah. Let me. Our buddy Christopher Wynn is watching. How are you doing, buddy? Hope you're doing well. He asks, any updates on Leatherface, Halloween 2018, Jason Goes to Hell director's cut, Never Hike Alone, and the Friday Part 3 documentary. This is apparently coming out this fall. Halloween 2018. They are still in the writing process. Process on that one. The Jason Goes to Hell director's cut's just not ever going to happen.
Can I just add that this new Halloween film could take 8 years to come out, and it'll still come out earlier than the next Amityville horror movie?
That's true too.
That thing's never coming out.
That's true. Yeah, that thing. Listen, I had people. I had a couple people message me like, "Oh man, this sucks," and I'm, but you actually really thought it was coming out this time? Come on, you know what I mean? This thing's been delayed since like 2015. It's not coming out.
And I like the people involved. Okay, I mean, obviously, I like their documentaries, Never Sleep Again, Crystal Lake Memories, that type of thing.
Oh yeah,
but I have to say, it's rare if a film is held back this long if it's really, really good. I mean, I can think of a couple examples, but for the most part, it's looking at Redbox City pretty soon.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said the best the best thing you can hope for if you want to see the new Amityville Awakening movie anytime soon is that they'll just go, okay, let's dump this thing on VOD and Blu-ray and let's just move on. Because either somebody had asked me, keep getting postponed, and the only answers that make sense are it's either really, really bad, and for Dimension he's bad and delay it, it's really freaking bad, or they just don't have the money. The Weinstein people don't have the money to properly promote and distribute it. Either way, just dump the thing and let us have it on VOD and Blu-ray and let the people who want to see it and move on.
It's going to be a Scream Factory exclusive, it. So.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah.
But yeah, ever since the Weinsteins got shut out of Miramax and they had to create the Weinstein Company, they've been floundering ever since. I mean, they couldn't even properly distribute The Founder, that Michael Keaton McDonald's movie, which is really good if anyone sees it. But that thing just got lost in the shuffle. And I mean, Michael Keaton probably would have gotten an Oscar nomination for it, and nobody saw it because they couldn't.
I want to see that movie really bad. You really liked it?
It's a biography movie, so you have to know that going in. But it's really interesting, and it's about just a complete jerk who stole McDonald's from these two guys.
Playing the cutthroat businessman, you see him rise to the top, just like doing any means necessary for the dollar, almighty dollar, pretty much. Kind of.
No, he does it more of like just trying to get respect because everyone like hates him, and he doesn't care how many bridges he burns to get that respect. So.
Gotcha.
It's kind of like The Godfather. I have all the respect in the world, but nobody likes me. So.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I mean, you made a good point. I mean, the Weinsteins are just a shell. You know what I mean? They are they're a ghost of their former selves. Yeah. And this Amityville thing is really telling, I think, of how sort of inept they've become. And if you're waiting for Amityville, just keep your fingers crossed that it's going to hit VOD. It's not coming to theaters. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Not going to happen.
I wish the Weinsteins would go back to like their burning roots and just make just like, a tough little film. And just, that's how they got started. So. Yeah. They seem like they can't even do that. I mean, and even if they did, they'd horribly mismanage it and they'd recut it a million zillion times and just, it'd be trash. But back to Christopher's, the Jason Goes to Hell director's cut's just not going to happen unless they get like 10 million signatures on a petition. Ever Hike Alone, I actually talked to Vincente DeSanti the other day, as a matter of fact. They've got the financing to finish the movie. They're finishing it, and he's hoping for a Friday the 13th this fall. That'll be very cool. But the Friday Part 3 documentary, I've not heard anything from Sean Richards about it in some time, so I'm not exactly sure where that one stands.
He was that mad about the sausage factory. He's not talking to you anymore.
I'll tell you one thing. If Adam Marcus, the director of Jason Goes to Hell, gets like a DC movie to direct, and it does remarkably well, then you'll get your Jason Goes to Hell director's cut released.
well, Adam Wingard is directing King Kong versus Godzilla, so
after his wonderful Blair Witch movie.
There you go. Yep, there you go. Some trolls from over at the Movie Discussion Pocket Dimension, which sounds like the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life, said that this show is. That sounds like, I'm sure they're over there probably talking about like some Bette Midler Show Tunes movie.
Yeah.
I'm sure they suck, whoever they are. But Let me give some shout outs here. DJ Donnelly's watching with us tonight. How are you? Holiday Styles.
God save the
is
Queen.
watching with us tonight. Joseph Purdue, how you doing, buddy? We mentioned Holiday Style. More like some YouTube live videos with Dead Pit. I would too. They're awesome. Joseph Purdue misses Dead Pit as well. Stone Gasman's watching tonight. He says that the founder was great and deserved a nomination, so he's right there with you. But let me ask you guys a question. Let me ask everybody who's watching a question as well. Would any of you pay $410 to meet Chris Hemsworth?
He can pay me $410.
I like Rambo's approach.
I like Chris Hemsworth,
nobody?
but I'll meet him for free.
Okay,
Shake his hand.
I mean, maybe Rambo would have a different answer for this, but
Sure.
I wouldn't even pay $600 to meet Sylvester Stallone.
I wouldn't pay $300 to meet Anthony
I wouldn't.
Hopkins.
I
No,
wouldn't
because
pay $600 for anything. So.
no, because Stallone, like, right? Wasn't he charging $600 for?
It might have been more. Yeah, it was so
It's your money. You can do whatever you want, but
It was so stupid.
The Stallone in England signings where people were forking out like $500, $600, I was just like, ooh, goddamn, you must have deep pockets.
I thought that was so stupid.
I actually think he was charging $800, $400 for a picture and $400 for an autograph.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, Chris Hemsworth was actually scheduled to come to a convention down in Australia. And I guess they don't get a lot of conventions in the land down under, because when they heard the amount of money that he's going to be asking for autographs and pictures and stuff, they flipped their lid. And I'd predicted in a video not long ago that this whole convention would catch on, and we'd see bigger and bigger name celebrities coming to these shows. Knowing that they can charge top dollar to literally do nothing, and over the course of a weekend make tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars.
tax free.
The worst part is the people fucking paying for it is some dude making minimum wage at Best Buy, and it's like he saved for 2 fucking years, and to meet some dude and he doesn't even give a shit about you for like 30 seconds if you're lucky, maybe 15. Like,
Well,
I can't.
Well, let me ask this question, because we've all done the convention circuit.
No,
Okay,
I've never been to
okay.
I'm a noob too.
Well, autographs aside, let's say you buy a movie or a DVD there, because there's there's independent filmmakers there. There's also movies that aren't released in the States that you can get access to and all that type of thing. Sometimes you can get illegal screeners and that type of thing. But I mean, I would say I average at least $200, $250 for a whole weekend buying stuff. But I think I'm on the conservative end of what most people spend in a weekend.
$250 would be my budget.
Does that include like a hotel room you're paying for? Or
No.
Is this just stuff
No, the
DVDs,
hotel room,
autographs?
car rental, all that. It's about $1,000 for
Okay.
that weekend, Friday to Sunday.
My total, if I knew someone driving and they were paying, we were splitting a hotel room, would be like $500, I think.
So for you personally, for average, is that more autographs or is that more movies? Or
it's
etc.
When I first started going, because I went 10 years straight. When I first started going, I would get a couple autographs of the people I wanted. Now, again, if people are nice, or you, a lot of times, Fangoria would do it where if you got like the weekend pass, you got like they would give you 30 names of autographs you got for free for getting the pass. That anybody else would be extra. But I mean, it's then there's some people like what is his name? The guy that played Charles Manson in Helter Skelter, and he's in Life Force. Steve Railsback.
Yeah.
Right. I gave him 2 DVDs. I'm like, oh, and he was charging $20, and so I was like, okay, fine, I want to get these DVDs signed. So I got them signed. He's like, yeah, that's $40. I was like, what? like you're not gonna give me one for free? No. So within like 5 minutes, I lost $40 on the 2 Steve Railsback autographs.
Well, these DVDs already went down in value because they got Sharpie all over them. That's worthless. Yeah. That sucks. Got them.
Well, I had an experience not long ago with a celebrity who will remain nameless. I met him at a convention like a year or two before I met him the second time, and $10. $10 got you the picture, got you the autograph. $10. That's a steal today, an absolute
Pretty
steal.
awesome, yeah.
Now this guy's not an A-lister or anything, but we all know who he was. 2 years later, I meet him again. Now he is a NECA. To get him to sign that NECA action figure, $50.
Well,
and listen, I'm not. I know it's a business, and I'm not, saying anything negative about anyone who's involved in that business. But I will say that since people have realized there's money, real money involved here, now they all have sort of like convention representation. They all have like agents for them, and they get kind of a group discount to go there, and then they get a certain amount of the cut and all that stuff. Before that happened, the prices were a lot lower. They got raised because they knew that, okay, this person is a $20, this person's a $25, this person's a $40. But it also is like they're still kind of getting what they normally would get. It's just that now they have to factor in other people's participation payment they got to pay.
Right.
So
now through a bunch of assholes, there are some bright spots. Like Jamie Lee Curtis, she supposedly did her last show, and then she did a bunch of signings and was charging a pretty decent amount. But didn't all of it go to charity?
Yeah,
but that's a pretty awesome thing to do.
Yeah.
What was the one thing with Kane Hodder or Robert Englund dressing up? But then they wore like a regular shirt.
Well, he couldn't wear the sweater because New Line was going to sue.
Right.
And I think that was supposedly for charity too, but that was like a $300 or $400 photo op, I think. And again, it's just him in a t-shirt, he's got the makeup on, but it's like, his Adidas t-shirt on or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I think someone said that they thought that he made something like 40 to 50 grand in like 5 hours. I mean, just
yeah. Well, and the major talent agencies, your CAA and your WGA, all those major talent agencies have their own wing for these kind of personal appearances. So the word has gotten around as I knew it would, and they see an absolute gold mine in the convention scene, and we're seeing a lot of bigger name guests at these conventions. But I mean, you got to be willing to shell out a lot of money to participate.
Not only that, but they don't have to put really a lot of their own money into it because the convention puts them up, it flies them out, and again, like I said, it's tax free. They're not claiming that like a waiter or waitress has to claim their tips.
and if they do claim it, they claim a very, very small percentage. Because I mean, I did a video not long ago talking about conventions, and it was based on an article. Wrote the article, said he went into one celebrity's room, and literally there was cash money stacked to the ceiling. And so I mean, that's and I forget who the actress was, but the actress was like, why would I want to go and spend 2 weeks doing a movie where I get paid when in 2 days I can get paid $40,000 or $50,000 at a convention?
But I'll tell you why, because each new film you do brings in new viewers, and that's more people who will pay.
Right. You have to sort of look at it like, okay, well, is this a movie that could possibly do that for me, or they're just looking at making a quick buck,
I mean, now, Piz, if a convention called you and said, "Listen, we're interested in having the Sausage Factory come and do a table at one of these conventions," I think you'd be pretty happy to go and make a quick buck too.
I would go. I don't know if anybody would want to pay. I mean, I would go more as a promotional tool.
Yeah.
And like as as a fun thing. I don't think anybody is going to want to pay, but
well, if they don't pay, we'll sick work on them. So.
Yeah, dude, fuck that. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'd be happy. I've never been to one like Rambo, so I'd be happy just to be in the environment, and then to meet people who, they don't give a shit about me, but they might like some other people on the show, and just meeting them and just being like, hey, what's up? Where you're from, all this stuff. That would make the trip worth it for me alone.
And before the internet, these conventions allowed you to bring your media equipment in there. You could go in there and set up tripods. You could film the whole show. You could just walk around and get everything. Every person you got autographs with, you could record it all. Now it's all no, you cannot. No recording in here because you're live streaming on.
Was this like early 2000s when you started doing it?
Yeah, and I mean, I had on my channel. I had a friend that when I was in high school, he went to the 1992 Fangoria and he met, Clive Barker promoting Candyman, and Dario Argento was there promoting what is that one that he just filmed in the States?
Trauma.
And Landis was there promoting Innocent Blood. And he came back with these videos of their entire hour-long panels, and I thought it was the most brilliant thing I'd ever seen. I'm like, if anything, I'm going there. That's my mecca. I have to go there. And for a long time, it was. And then when I left, it had become what Piz and Dead Pit had talked about for years, which was it was becoming the Walking Dead show, and then Fangoria pulled it. They don't even do it anymore. So it used to be one huge convention, and now they've slashed it into like 7 or 8 different conventions. So there's the Monster Palooza, there's this one over here and this one over here, where it used to all be one whole thing. So they found out there's more money if you have eight conventions. So.
Well, the consensus from the viewing audience to pay, if they would pay $410 to meet Chris Hemsworth, the overwhelming answer to that is no. So, however,
how much would they pay to meet you, Piz?
How much would you guys pay to meet me? Thank you. Let's set the bar high. Yep. Let's see. Chris Wynn said that he would pay that to meet Stallone.
The what?
How much would you pay to meet Arnold?
That's a good question.
He is a governor.
That's a good question. Well, yep, that's true.
But he can't say the word governor.
I'm planning on meeting Robert Englund in September, I think, and I'm interested to see how much he's going to be and what his lines are going to be like and. Be like.
Piz, what's the most you've paid for an autograph or a picture with somebody?
Most I've paid for an autograph, geez, probably. I'm trying to think how much John Carpenter was when I met him, but I don't think he wasn't more than $50.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if it's 100 or under for Carpenter, arguably one of the greatest directors of all time, especially for horror. That's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I don't do the photo op thing. I could have paid extra and waited around all day to take a picture with him. I don't the photo op thing. No, at all.
I've only done one photo op in my life, and that was because I got to wrap my arms around Ozzy Argento.
Oh, you lucky fuck! I love her.
I would no. Let me rephrase. I would do a photo op with like Jamie Lee Curtis. I'd do a photo op gladly with Jamie Lee Curtis because she does it so rarely. I'd do a photo op with her. And Robert Englund, I may have to do the photo op thing with him to meet him. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. And
I'm not sure yet.
I'll give props to Dead Pit. I mean, one thing they say a lot, and Piz mentioned it on a few of his vids. Craven's already gone, and I'm sure a lot of people wanted to meet him. Carpenter, I hope he has tons of years left. Tons. I hope he lives till he's 110. But, like, how long? And then Romero's getting up there. It's just, yeah.
Well, I will say, I don't know if you guys ever met Wes Craven or not, but seriously, everything you've heard about him is true. He was the nicest guy ever. And that's when you hear it's always sad no matter what. But when you lose one of your heroes and he was a great human being, that really hurts.
Yeah.
But we've lost a lot of those people recently, right? Angus Scrim and all these other people. So it's been a sad time. It's been a sad time. It's like, why don't they take one of the jerks that we can't stand?
Take Eli Roth, please.
Yeah.
leave us Romero and Carpenter for at least 15 more years.
And when I said that with Piz, I probably feel maybe bad 2%, just 2%, not much.
Yeah, I'm glad I got a second chance to see George Romero because I didn't think I was going to, but I luckily got the chance to meet him, and so I mean that was a big deal. I almost met Angus Scrim because he was going to be at a show that I went to. He ended up having to cancel because of his health, and not long thereafter he passed away. So I would have loved to have met him. He's one of those guys too that everybody who met him had nothing but the nicest things to say about him. And Kristen Deem, who was his longtime friend and assistant, she left a very, very nice comment on my Arrow Video Phantasm Blu-ray box set. She did a great extra on there where she wrote him like a posthumous letter that he'd done for her. Very, very nice extra, very heartfelt, very moving. So, but yeah, would have been nice to have met him. Let's see. Apparently, Christopher Wynn would pay $0 to meet me. That's
Well.
Heart's broken. Photo ops are the worst, says Joseph Perdue. DJ Donnelly says he'd like to do a photo op with either Arnold or Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey'd be nice. DJ Donnelly also says take Justin Bieber.
Please.
Yes, take the Bieber. Leave the rest. Well, let's talk about let's talk about some topics. First off, let's talk about the Sony's clean version initiative, in which they are going to take a bunch of their most popular titles down and resell them as quote unquote clean versions. Now, the list of movies that I saw that they were planning on doing this to. Already like PG-13 and PG movies. So how do you clean a movie that's all? I mean, I get it. They can get away with a little bit more PG-13 rating these days, but how much more can you sanitize a PG and PG-13 movie? What do you guys think of this whole clean initiative from Sony? Are they taking the moral road here, or is it just all about the money?
Well, let me just say this. There was no announcement about this. I woke up Tuesday morning to add the free TV episodes on Vudu onto my account, and all of a sudden I see clean movies, and I'm like, what on earth is this? And I have a lot of these movies in my account, and I'm like, what is going on here? Is Sony replacing this? The ones I own with these clean versions? It turns out that no, what they're doing is, whether you agree or disagree, they are if you buy a movie online, they're providing you the TV cut as one of the options, or the airplane version as one of the options. So they're not erasing the version that you want to watch, but there's it'll be a bonus thing if you wanted to do it. I mean, again, we've talked about like how excited we are when we got the Halloween 2 Blu-ray and it came with the TV cut. So I mean, I guess they're just providing that. I'll never watch them. Is it terrible to? I don't know. I mean, I thought they were actually like getting rid of the original cuts or something like that Mormon VHS place that would just clean up movies and take out Kate Winslet naked in Titanic and resell them. So which they did. But
that's a real thing.
Yeah. But so Do I like it? No. Am I against it? It's hard to be against it when I'm not even going to watch it. It doesn't affect me any. So
To me, it's just so fucking stupid.
I agree.
Because it's one of those things I'm like, this is what a parent's job is supposed to be. You sit down with your kid, you tell them that's right, that's wrong. Maybe these are films you probably already know if you're watching with your kid. Okay, if you're too young for this, skip this part. Now it's like, oh yeah, I know you're too lazy. You're too busy with the thumb up your ass. We do the work for you. I know you're a parent, but it's quotation marks around it. Do the work for you. We had these back, like Cameron said, they were called edited for TV. They sucked. I never cared to watch them, even as a kid. I would think a lot of kids today who are much more foul-mouthed than I was, they're not going to care about these. They don't think either they suck and they don't want to watch them. They want to watch the R-rated version or whatever. I don't see the point other than, hey, look how PC moral we are. We are such good guys. Here's a promotional bit showing how PC proud we are. When, in essence, this is a thing a parent could easily do without much of any effort. And it's just, I don't see any reason for it. Hell, you could just wait till it's on TV, put on DVR, whatever, if it's edited, just show the kid the same thing. I mean, I just don't understand the need for it. I don't get the point.
Yeah, and Sony is. I mean, they need so much money right now because they almost had to close their movie division last year. Like they almost just.
Oh really?
Had to,
Which brings me to Sony should stick to games and PlayStations and making Blu-rays and 4K Blu-rays, not other shit.
But I agree with Piz. Like they're tackling all these PG-13 movies. I would have a morbid curiosity if they like tackled like Showgirls or something. Like, you know, give me a clean version of a movie that I know would only be like 5 minutes long. You know, if you actually did it, I think that would be kind of funny. But yeah, I agree.
I know
Rambo,
Seth
it's a waste of
Rogen.
time. Yeah.
I know Seth Rogen was against it as well. That was one tweet he sent out.
Well, he almost started World War III with a Sony movie, so
We're so close. Oh man, blowing that little shit stain.
Well, what's weird is that one thing that I think is odd about it is that they're calling them "quote unquote" clean. They're clean versions, way that they're edited or that they're the TV version. They're "quote unquote," and that just to me sounds like you're trying to I don't know what you're trying to appeal to, a certain set of society who thinks that all movies are dirty and horrible things. You know, I don't. And you know, you can look at it this way too. Sony needs money. Sony's already got these editions out there. They're their airplane cuts. They're their TV cuts. Somebody will buy them. This is the SJW Ultra PC era. Let's exploit that. Let's make some extra money. And like Cameron mentioned, there's been companies in the past that have taken these movies, religious companies who've taken these movies, edited themselves, and then resold them. Now, I thought that like the studios banded together to stop them, but apparently there's still some companies out there doing that. So to me, it's completely about exploiting the time that we're in, where we can't even have a World War II video game and show a swastika. You know, that's offensive. So
and keep in mind, last year there was a whole movement, and it still is probably going on, to completely ban the movie Gone with the Wind because it shows slavery and Confederate flags all over the place. So it's like, we can't even like depict history anymore in film. We have to just completely that happened in the past. We don't even talk about it anymore. It's like something horrible that happened on your street that no one acknowledges anymore.
Yeah, it was like that time.
Well, I mean,
yeah, go ahead. No, I was saying it was like that time after 9/11 when they wanted to go back and take out the World Trade Center out of the movies before it. to purposely take them
Terminator.
out. Yeah, or even movies that had already been made and just erase them digitally. It was just ridiculous.
And then Scorsese was the man and digitally put them back in Gangs of New York. At the very end, he showed the skyline and then digitally put them back, and I was like, that was awesome. Good for you, Martin.
Yeah, speaking of which, having parents and a bunch of people I knew who worked in New York City and were in the city when 9/11 happened, it's just weird, like looking back on like Die Hard with a Vengeance and just seeing like the Twin Towers just standing there. It just seems like it's almost unreal. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
I get more nervous with Escape from New York with the president going down towards towards the World Trade Centers.
Well, I mean, if he was still alive, I mean, it'd be way more important because it'd be, Donald Pleasance. So, obviously, crickets.
I'm sorry, Orc. I was actually reading some comments here from the live chat, and a lot of people don't seem to they're not down with the clean versions of the Sony movies. They think it's a waste of time and a waste of money and just not a very good idea. Stone Gassman said, well said, Rambo, on your thoughts on the clean versions.
Thank you.
And if you don't watch them, and if like I said, they're bonuses to the versions you watch or you buy, because Sony knows they won't really make extra money on them. They're just trying to do it as a bonus, because if you don't buy them, then they can't make money on it, and then they'll stop. I mean, I think this isn't gonna last for very long. I give it like 3 months, and then they pull that whole thing.
Probably.
Well, it shows. Sony's stupidity, wasting all your money when you have little money to begin with, when you could be doing something better to make you money.
I think they're investing because
they got go out of business.
Well, because they got that Iron Man movie. I mean, Spider-Man: Homecoming coming out, so they're investing into other platforms.
Yeah,
I like Sony for the most part, but like Street Fighter V, they released the game and it only had online play, and everyone was hyped for the story mode, and it didn't come out till 6 months later. That's how broke and things are getting rushed at Sony with movies and games. Yep.
Well, they are already rebooting Resident Evil. We just had Resident Evil, the final chapter. Now they're already rebooting it. So
is this confirmed?
Yes.
I guess, yeah. I guess that shows you just how Sony sort of has with any kind of name recognition, that they just ended Resident Evil. Now they're immediately going to reboot it.
Listen, so, I know that Resident Evil is like guilty pleasure for a lot of people, but I have a feeling this one will be better because James Wan is spearheading it. So.
If James Wan's involved in it, I'm excited.
Yeah, he's not directing it.
That's a reboot that makes sense.
But if creatively, I'm excited.
Right.
Starring Chloe Grace Moretz. Watch as Alice, guaranteed.
Scarlett Johansson.
I don't know.
Or Gal Gadot.
I don't know if this is on your list of topics, Piz, but I just want to throw out. I never thought I would see the day where a Tom Cruise movie would sink so fast.
Oh yeah.
The Mummy is definitely on my list. I've got a funny story about the Mummy. I went to watch Wonder Woman 2 or 3 days ago, and they started showing the Mummy instead. I almost jumped out of my seat yelling, "This is the Mummy! I don't want to watch this crap. This is the Mummy! This is the Mummy!" So and people were just sitting there, watching it, and it's like, it pops up Dark Universe, and I'm like, "This is the Mummy! Somebody, this is the Mummy!" And
this guy, he's like 6'5" and he's spazzing out. He's like next to me. Can you get him out of the theater, please?
So finally, I was about to go and tell him, and the movie stopped, and the kid walked in, and he's like, "I'm sorry." And but I was like, "No, I don't even want to sit through 2 minutes of the Mummy. I don't want to,
I saw this great film review the other day that said that you should not go see any movie at your multiplex until the Mummy is gone, because they said that once you're in there, it kind of is the Mummy just being in that multiplex is like those parasites and Prometheus. Once they're in the air and they'll float and they're getting out your head, and then you'll start having panic attacks and spaz attacks. And so just wait till the Mummy's gone.
That bad.
I mean, what's about the Mummy is, was anybody begging for any more Mummy movies, period, let alone one starring Tom Cruise that just seemed totally like when I saw the trailer and I saw Tom Cruise, it would be some kind of, and then they're like, no, it's a Mummy movie. What? That just doesn't, I don't get that. And I mean, I just don't think, they tried to restart the Dark Universe with Dracula. Let's forget Dracula. That didn't happen. So the Mummy next. I mean, why not? I don't know. I don't. I'm not surprised at all that it's completely underperformed.
Well, think about this. The next one they're doing is Bride of Frankenstein, which I'm all right with Bill Conn directing it, but why are they doing it before they do Frankenstein?
Exactly.
And they're never going to get around to this Johnny Depp Invisible Man movie. You just don't even. They're not going to do it.
Yeah, I mean, why are you? Yeah, exactly. It's like let's do Frankenstein meets the Wolfman before we do Frankenstein or the Wolfman.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's what they did. Batman v Superman.
But Cameron, the old movies suck. They're in black and white, and they're from like 1855. They're terrible.
Well, why don't they actually make horror films? I know, because action movies translate overseas, and from what I understand, this Mummy thing has like the same flashback several times in the movie. Things are completely spelled out in the dialogue because when they don't care about America anymore. Honestly, they care about overseas. And if you don't have to translate as much, or you keep the plot so dumb and simple that anybody in Laos can follow it at their local theater, it's I mean, that's just where we are right now. Used to be movies made their money here and then went overseas and made some chump change. Now, screw us.
Asia, man, it's booming. China, South Korea, Japan. Yeah, tons of money.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of the Resident Evil movies, the only reason those movies lasted as long as they did was because of the foreign market. Nobody was watching those movies beyond like the first one in America.
I was on it.
And they're making like amounts of money overseas. That's how they kept making them.
Yeah,
and that's why they're going to reboot it, because they know that it's a cash cow overseas.
Transformers, the domestic price, or the tally of all of them are going down every film, but overseas they're going up every film. So
yeah.
Sadly. Did you hear that this new Transformers movie is over 3 hours long?
I'm not surprised. The other ones are 2:45. So.
All right, I love Anthony Hopkins, Sir Anthony, but
how much did he get paid for? You asking?
Hey, you know what? Westworld probably didn't pay him anything, so he's taking whatever he can get.
I'm thinking, what are you going to do for 3 hours? Blinding lens flares, nauseating shaky cams, deafening explosions for 3 hours?
Piz, there's time travel in this one.
They go back. Marky Mark.
There's
God.
They go back to World War II. There's Nazis in this one. They go back to King Arthur times. Which
are there swastikas in this one?
Yeah.
Okay, the swastikas are fucking Transformers shit.
I don't get, but no, I mean, I was not surprised at all that failed. But did you guys read the reports that even Warner Brothers thought that Wonder Woman would perform beneath the Mummy? Even Warner Brothers in the Wonder Woman.
Well, it's Tom Cruise,
right?
And of course, Tom Cruise is the reboot of the Mummy.
It's Scientology.
Yeah, they thought the Mummy would better than Wonder Woman.
I guess because of the awkward not the best reaction from the previous DC films. I guess they were basing it off. They thought,
I guess,
the worst case scenario, and okay, this is the first of this new universe. You would think the first would break out, but
and I know
I was mad there's no Brendan Fraser in this.
Yeah. I know. I know you didn't like Wonder Woman, Rambo, but
That's okay. I'm a
I know
little
that's probably an understatement there, but I think what's funny is that Warner Brothers, put all their attention in Suicide Squad, Batman v Superman, and just screwed it up. And then with Patty Jenkins and Wonder Woman, they thought so little of that film, they didn't even bother to get involved. And yet it's like now, so that's why it's at 95% Rotten Tomatoes score. They didn't even put their little fingers into that pie, So
yeah.
Well, do you guys think? Well, one thing that I thought was funny because I watched one review on YouTube and I read one review online, and both of them said that there are beats in the new Mummy that are like shot for shot exactly the same as the '99 Mummy.
Yes,
really.
There's also the other thing of Jake Johnson from New Girl. He plays Tom Cruise's best friend, and I'm sorry if this is any sort of spoiler whatsoever, but he gets killed off, and then he comes back, and I'm not kidding you, Piz. They rip off the entire subplot of American Werewolf in London, with the friend there getting worse and worse decomposed, guiding Tom Cruise through this movie.
Wow!
Oh my God!
Yeah.
I hope John Landis never knows about that because he'll probably have a stroke.
That reaction face should be on the poster.
If John Carpenter can sue for that Guy Pearce movie, then Landis should take them to court.
Lockout. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God. Anyhow, let me ask you guys, and let me ask everybody who's watching: is there anybody out there who's looking forward to any movies? The Bride of Frankenstein with Angelina Jolie. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. The Wolfman. Any of these new movies. Is anybody looking forward to any of them? Honestly,
if they end up on a. Sorry, go ahead, Rambo.
No, you can go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'll talk it through anyway.
No, I was just going to say when I first heard about it, I thought maybe it'd be interesting because I like Tom Cruise and I like action and horror. But then when I saw the trailer, I'm like, okay, there's no horror going to be in most of these movies. They're much horror as they don't really do big budget horror anymore because it's not much of a cash flow in them. And if they try to make smaller, like you still have action, but like try to go for maybe not exactly the style, but more grounded, not reality, but more grounded physics or more grounded look or effects, and not this overblown that's everywhere. So maybe you could stand apart and be sort of a nod to the old classics and sort of make it in the old classic style, maybe be appealing, but that and these movies, they're going to be more overblown CGI sandstorms of crap. And when I saw the trailer, that's what it looks like. Yeah, and I'm like, I like the 1999 The Mummy, and I like the adventure aspect, but that kind of knew it was an adventure. The trailer, it's like, here's these underwater zombies, and it's horror, but everything I heard is like, no, there's no horror. It's horrible, but there's no horror.
And let's be honest here. Universal really screwed the pooch with this one too, because a lot of movies, they come out and then they have the IMAX and then they have the 4D. Where's the IMAX, black and white screening or something? But they know this movie is not horror whatsoever, so they're not doing it. But how awesome would that? I mean, they released that trailer, which I thought was pretty good, of all the old classic horror films cut to like the new modern music. I would love to see them embrace their horror roots. I mean, Universal only exists because of the monster movies of the 1930s. I mean, they were going to shut down and go bankrupt in the 20s and be done. And then
now, Cameron, who owns Universal and who owns NBC?
Yeah,
Comcast.
Right.
That's why there's nothing.
But that was another thing with this new Mummy is that all these future ones, I don't think they're going to be like, I doubt Bride of Frankenstein is going to be an action film. It's going to be probably a drama. But your first film is an action film, but yet these other films, they're not going to be action films, but yet they're going to be the same. It'd be like making a Transformers but then it's a drama. It's like that's not going to happen.
And
But
they
yet,
take
Bride of Frankenstein. I'm understanding it's going to be a drama, but yet it's in the same universe as this first film, this overblown action movie that doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
and then Russell Crowe's Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde is the Nick Fury of this new cinematic universe, where he's getting all the people together. And it's like, what are they? All these monsters are going to hang out together, and fight the Monster Squad in the last one. I mean, come on.
I probably no, I wouldn't watch that.
You don't want to see the Monster Squad take out Johnny Depp? I would.
would watch that. I would watch.
Well, yeah. But Johnny Depp's going to be the hero because, from what I understood, these monsters, they're going to become heroes and then they're going to fight some greater evil. That's the whole gist of it, is that they'll become good guys with superpowers. That's really what they are.
They take on the company exactly.
Not monsters. And I think that's the problem, is that they're not monster movies. They're superhero good guys that maybe have a little bit of evil in them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, I think, the wrong direction.
Well, so Tom Cruise is gonna rebound with Top Gun 2 Maverick. He's currently shooting it.
Yeah, I heard. I
want to see Days of Thunder too.
Yeah, I want to hear a hipster version of Danger Zone, like over the credits and stuff.
I went to the Danger Zone.
Can you imagine who they'll get to do that? It'll be like My Chemical Romance or something. Good Charlotte.
I went to Danger Zone.
They've even dusted off Val Kilmer to come back too. So you know,
good to see Val back in action. You know what I mean?
Well,
Stone Gaspin actually says that according to RLM, which I don't know what RLM is, they also ripped off Tobe Hooper's. The Mummy also ripped off Tobe Hooper's Life Force, which I actually heard that in another review too. So that's pretty funny.
So Life Force, American Wolf in London. Oh my God, this movie is just.
Oh yeah, because Tom Cruise and the female are sort of in love, but then they're not, and that Life Force thing.
And when she sucks the life force out of people to regain her own, you know, like in the other Mummy movie, it turns those people into like shriveled minions of hers.
Wow, that sounds familiar. Wow.
Yeah.
And she's naked in a lot of this movie, but the shadows are perfectly, situated. So
nice. Nice. So definitely the new Universal Dark Universe has got stumbled out the gate. Let's put it that way.
Dark cloud over it.
Wonder Woman not only kicked its ass on its second week, but made like $35 more million than a Tom Cruise movie his opening weekend. That's so sad.
Let's talk about Wonder Woman, because I mean Wonder Woman is a huge success. It's the first DC movie that sort of unanimously not just liked, but it's gotten insanely good reviews. I forget what you say it was on Rotten Tomatoes, Cameron, like 90-something%.
Yeah.
And,
Mm-hmm.
is it? Well, and I think you hit the nail on the head, Cameron, too, because it seems like Warner Brothers kind of left that movie alone, and they didn't, do a Batman v Superman with it, and they just kind of let, one of the things that I think probably the nicest thing I can say about it, we saw with Batman v Superman, and of course with the Suicide Squad, these just rapidly changing shifts in tone. Like, was this a lighthearted movie? Is this a dark movie? Where's this going? Especially in Suicide Squad, it just felt so forced in spots. With Wonder Woman, I thought the humor was natural, and actually some of it kind of humorous. And I remember thinking, like, is that, you know what I mean?
Well, the humor came out of the situation and the characters. It wasn't forced into the film.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what do you now, Rambo? I know you disliked Wonder Woman. Have you had a chance to see it?
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
What were your thoughts?
I I really liked it. I do have some, quibbles with it, as a lot of people do, but for the most part, I liked it. And in fact, I'm one of these rare people that I can find good things so far in all the DC movies, even though I will acknowledge just tons of problems in all of them. I do think I think the extended version of Batman v Superman was much better than what they gave us in the theater. I mean, it still had a lot of problems, but if they had released that version in the theater, I think people would have maybe forgiven it for some things. Suicide Squad, I think there's a good movie in there. I just don't think we saw it. I think they took David Ayer's movie and turned it into a montage, video.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman. I was really rooting for this film, not so much because it's a female superhero and that type of thing, because Gal Gadot, whatever you want, however you say it, she got so much shit for being cast as this character, and people, like real big critics, were gunning for her to fail, to just spectacularly go down in flames, saying that she was, she didn't look like Wonder Woman, she couldn't act, she was a horrible, actress, couldn't hold the screen, can't build a franchise around her. And here's this movie that comes out, and for the most part, everyone seems to go with it. I do think, though, that even if the film was bad, which I don't think it is, but let's say if it was bad, I do think that the Rotten Tomatoes score would still be pretty high, just for the fact that it's a female superhero and it's something that people want to see right now. It's kind of like what you're seeing right now with the Black Panther trailer going around. I mean, people are losing their mind over it, and we haven't seen the movie yet, but they're losing their mind over it because, one, it looks interesting, got a great set design and costumes, but at the same time, though, it has to do with the fact that it's an African American superhero surrounded with an entirely black cast. So it's got its politics in the right place, first of all. Then I think people were just surprised that it was a coherent film. So but I thought that her chemistry with Chris Pine was like the best thing about that film, because there is a moment in that third act that happens, and I think the reason why it works at all is because you believed in their chemistry together, and I think you feel it only because of that. If that had happened in another film, you probably wouldn't have felt it. And even if you didn't like the movie, you have to say, well, there was some genuine emotion in that moment, at least, and so it kind of built to that. But overall, I liked it. So,
I think we got so caught up in this whole the thing with Ghostbusters last year and sexism and all this bull crap, and in my opinion, the Ghostbusters movie and Paul Feig behind sexism, they were trying to hide the fact that the movie really sucked behind sexism, and if you don't like it, well, then you're sexist. What's great about Wonder Woman is that it's I don't even want to call it like a big woman empowerment movie. It's just a good movie.
And her and Chris Pine together are equals.
Yeah. And Chris Pine, I thought, gave a really good performance. You know what I mean? I thought all the performances were good. Even that little ragtag group of people that he throws together, each one of them kind of had a story. Each one of them had a character. Each one of them had... I think that's one thing that I can say this movie has that maybe the other DC movies didn't have, and that's a heart.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it too. I think my only real qualm is it seemed like it went on way too long, and this is a DC thing. Like the last has to be like completely CGI. It's just like CGI overload. You know what I mean? But aside from that, I really enjoyed it.
But that whole build up to No Man's Land and then that sequence, I thought that it earned its moments because it had built up to that moment. And also I like the idea of showing us a picture from Batman v Superman. They really didn't mean much to anybody, and then giving it proper context in this movie. I thought that was nice. But I just want to throw out, because you mentioned Ghostbusters, I'm sure you guys have seen that video of Dan Aykroyd coming out just blasting Paul Feig for that movie. Now that the movie didn't do well, he threw Paul Feig under the bus.
I actually haven't seen the video. I've heard of it. I've not seen it.
Oh, okay.
What does he say about
He
Paul
says that
Feig and the Ghostbusters?
he gave Paul Feig some notes. And Paul Feig didn't want to listen, and then when the film was done, he had to go back and do reshoots based off Dan Aykroyd's notes, and it cost the movie an extra $40 million. He said that he wanted to do his own thing, didn't want to listen to him or Ivan Reitman, and now the movie failed, and it's all his fault. Which is really funny because Dan Aykroyd spent how many weeks out there promoting the film, saying how great it was, and now it didn't do well.
He had a vested interest.
Yeah, but now it didn't do well, and he realizes that his Ghost Core thing is probably no more, and he's probably PO'd. So,
well, give it. I don't know. Is anybody out there wanting any more Ghostbusters? Question. Even if they sort of turned it over to Ivan Reitman and Dan Aykroyd and said, "Okay, do whatever." Seems like Ghostbusters now just has this kind of bad taste associated with it. Remake. Yeah. So, does anybody even want Ghostbusters? To be honest,
at this point, I'd rather see the 21 Jump Street meets Men in Black movie that they're making.
Unless you can bring Harold Ramis back from the dead. No.
Hey, if they can CGI Peter Cushing, we can bring back Harold Ramis.
They can.
Well, they don't have Disney money, though. Come on now.
Yeah, that's true. They have Sony money.
That's true.
It looks like a fucking 1980s shitty CGI. He's just there. It's like, what did you do?
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but Rambo, I know you didn't like the movie, so bring it. What your main points that you didn't like Wonder Woman?
Yeah. Tell us your thoughts on Wonder Woman, Rambo.
Are you sure? Because you'll get a lot of pissed off people.
No, wait. I'm sure. Wait, don't start. I gotta get my popcorn. Hang on, just one second.
I'm not going to roll that hard.
Well, people don't know. Rambo recorded, I think it's a 40-minute rant about the movie. So
not on purpose, but I didn't know much about the Wonder Woman character. Someone wanted me to see the movie. I really had no interest from the trailers, but I saw it, and I just honestly did not like a single thing about it. I absolutely hated Gal Gadot. I thought she was a runaway model, Megan Fox with an accent. I hated her performance. I hated her who we have to do our duty. Like her fucking sequences of dialogue just annoyed the piss out of me. I thought she was a terrible actress. I thought it was amateurs at best, and I thought she was piss poor. And the action scenes, I was tired of the wannabe 300 slow motion every 30 seconds. Where, I'm kind of into the choreography, then this wannabe 300 slow-mo, and then the slow-mo. I'm like, stop it. I thought the villains were lackluster and lame. I do think it was way too long. It was like 2 hours and 10 minutes without the end credits. The CGI orgasm fest finale was irritating to me. I thought the twist on the villain was obvious because I'm like, it's David Thewlis, the British guy who's uptight. Yep, that's the villain, of course. He's an uptight British guy. Chris Pine and Gal Gadot's chemistry, I found nothing there. I thought it was just a piss poor version of Superman the movie, Thor and Captain America First Avenger put together. I thought the Rejet Howling Commandos were annoying. I thought the pacing was boring. I thought there were scenes that just made me want to go see other films, whether it be the obvious nod to Superman the movie when they're in an alleyway and instead of grabbing the bullet, she stops it with her bracelet. I thought and
she's wearing glasses.
Yeah. And then the moments of action, like in the finale, when sometimes she's doing these poses like she's in a Maybelline commercial and moving her hair. I know I'm alone in that, and that's perfectly fine. It's not the first or last time. It just was not my cup of tea.
Sorry, I gotta do this. Maybe it's Rambo, right?
So it just wasn't my cup of tea.
So what you're saying, Rambo, is you're really looking forward to Justice League this November.
Oh yes, absolutely.
They're already talking about Wonder Woman too.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you heard, Piz. I'm sure you heard though that obviously there was that tragedy with Zack Snyder's family.
Sadly, yeah.
So they've now given the Justice League over to Joss Whedon, and Joss Whedon is writing and directing several new pickup shots. He's overseeing the entire post-production, and now with Wonder Woman being so big, they've now asked him to include more of her in there. So obviously it's not going to be Zack Snyder's Justice League movie anymore. It's going to be Joss Whedon's movie.
Well, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, it'll be more balanced. I don't think it will be, you know, what we've gotten in the past.
I think the worst thing that could happen though is that kind of like with Suicide Squad, where you could tell a mile away what was a reshoot. What would be bad in Justice League is like you can, you know, okay, so this 20 minutes is Zack Snyder, the next 10 minutes is Joss Whedon. Zack Snyder, you know, like they cut it together, and like you can just tell just from the tone, just from the directing style, you know that it just does, it wouldn't feel even that way. I can understand they're going to want more Wonder Woman because the Wonder Woman movie was so beloved, but I hope they just don't overdo it with the reshoots and everything to make it feel uneven. You know what I mean?
Joss Whedon's pretty smart, so I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah. So, let's see. Let's move on. Let's talk about. We talked about Amityville Awakening. Oh goodness. Let's talk about. The only other thing on my list to talk about is the Amazon Prime controversy, and it may not even be a controversy anymore, where Amazon was offering a reduced Prime rate for people on government assistance, like food stamps, WIC, and a lot of people. And what I thought was funny and kind of sad too was that I saw a bunch of articles saying, well, Walmart, they're coming right after you. They're coming right after your main shoppers, meaning that everybody who shops at Walmart is on some form of welfare. No,
there's a lot of that shop there too.
Right. I thought that was funny though, because it's like, oh, Walmart, they're coming after you now. But the thing that when I first saw this, action was like, oh, people are going to be pissed off. And I think right now you can do Amazon Prime for like $9.99 a month or something like that.
$12, yeah.
Oh, we lost him.
Oh,
honestly, yeah. I mean, honestly, I'm thinking. Is that really that much of a disparity? If they're not.
Yeah, wait, Piz, repeat what you just said in the past like 10 seconds.
You're cutting out.
You're
breaking up.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What I was wondering was, you know, is that the Prime now is like $9.99 a month. This new rate is $5.99 a month. Is that a big enough disparity? Is that a big enough to really want to urge people to who aren't? I mean, the whole thing's just kind of odd to me. I don't know. It doesn't. There's something weird about it. What are you guys' response to it? And everybody who's watching, what do you guys think about the Amazon Prime reduced rates?
Well, would we feel the same way if Netflix dropped their price too for people if they made under $30,000 a year? You know, or, I mean, where is this just going to be Amazon, or is like a whole host of companies looking to drop their prices because half the country's on some sort of assistance right now? So,
it's true.
Sad to say. No, I know I brought this up in the group chat. And some people were saying, "Oh, I didn't like this. I don't like that." Now, Oric, you have a whole different thing because
fuck those people. No, seriously. Okay, it's a $6 difference for people who are on assistance, and unlike Netflix, where you're just getting pure entertainment, Amazon, people who are working jobs like teachers and shit like that, and they're like lower middle class, but you know can't buy everything. There's cheaper shit on Amazon and more bundles than there actually is at Walmart. Most of the time, some of the time. So when people are flipping out over $6 discount on the membership, it's like, fuck you. And then people are like, oh, well, if you're in middle class, you're not on food stamps. I'm like, I've known tons of people who have been on food stamps who are, and they're not shooting up fucking heroin. They're fucking trying to, feed their 2 kids. They don't have 7 kids. It's like, shut the fuck up. The people who bitch about that should just kill themselves. I'm not even joking. Like, seriously, just off yourself.
I just want to know if I'm walking through my kitchen.
Those people.
Hey, Orc, I just want
Dank meme of the week.
Orc, I just want to know if I'm walking through my kitchen and I hit that Tide button that I have, now in my kitchen because Amazon's been promoting these button pushers where you order detergent. Do I get a discount every time I hit that button?
Maybe, and I mean, Bezos has enough money, but I mean, that's where you're abusing because those buttons cost $5-6. So if you get the discount and then you get a dash button, you're abusing the system. I'm trolling.
So at first it's $10, and then for these it's $6.
It's 12 and then 6 if you don't do the yearly.
Here's the thing that worries me. It's not so much the price difference. I mean, I could care less about it. It's the fact that you'd probably have to fork over your W-2 over to Amazon for them to approve you. And that makes me nervous. I'm not letting some company determine whether or not I get a discount by looking at my social security number and all that.
I think going off of what you just said, I think you do have to give them like tons of info. And at the end of the day, you're just saving $6. I mean, if you really want to have everything shipped to your house, I mean, go for it if you need it.
Well, that's what I was saying. There's something weird. There's some sort of ulterior motive here, because I don't think $6 is really going to motivate anybody to. I don't think that's going to. I don't know. There's some ulterior motive here. There has to be, and I think it's more so than just Amazon's going after Walmart. They're trying to take down Walmart. But I don't know. And yes, you would have to submit paperwork to Amazon showing that you are on this, one or the other assistance programs. So would you even feel comfortable giving Amazon that information?
I'm so glad you guys read this article because I just read the headline. I had assumed that they had waived the fee. So if you were making a certain amount, you would get it as just being a free membership or something like that. But so it's only a $6 difference. That's like nothing. It's not even worth. It costs more in stamps just to mail your paperwork.
So
to
pretty
Amazon.
much, you're saving $70 a year.
Right.
Even people on that can manage $70 a year.
And if you're working some lower paying job or minimum wage and you're getting any type of government assistance at all, a $6 difference a month isn't going to break the bank. I know people cut it close. I've been there before, a long time ago.
If $6 is the thin line between life and death for you, Amazon Prime is not your number one objective.
Well said.
Exactly. And if you are, and look, to be perfectly transparent, I mean, I grew up poor. I grew up in, raised by a single mother. We advantage of government programs to survive. But, and even if it's like, okay, I've got $6 here. Or a sandwich. You know what I mean?
And Amazon Prime means nothing if you don't order things off Amazon. If you have no money to order things.
Yeah. You either need an internet connection on your phone, 4G network, or you need internet at your home. So yeah.
I just don't know. There's some sort of ulterior motive here that Amazon's going with. The $6 difference I don't think is going to motivate a lot of people. And then again, you have to submit all this paperwork to Amazon, and I don't know. It just sounded really weird to me.
Is it a PR thing? Like, hey, look how the good we're doing for PR to promote.
Either that, or they're going to send ICE agents over to the house and start deporting people.
Well, on an unrelated note, we talked about Amazon's trying to take out Walmart. Well, Walmart here's how Walmart is fighting back against Amazon. Walmart is starting a program going to pay their employees Like, say I've just worked an 8-hour shift at Walmart, extra however many dollars, they'll load up the back of my car with products that people have ordered online, and I'll drive them to these people's homes on my way home from work. That's how Walmart is trying to fight the 2-day free, the free 2-day shipping of Amazon Prime. Literally, this is not a joke. They're going to pay employees to drop off packages at people's homes on their way home at the end of their shift.
Like, I mean, it obviously varies where you live and what stores you have near you, but that's the one good thing about Amazon, Walmart, and Target is they all have to compete because, and it makes it better for us.
And they all price match.
Yeah.
Walmart does not price match Amazon anymore. It's a sad day when Walmart will not price match Amazon.
Well, you know why that is, Piz, right?
Well, because Amazon's got better prices.
Well, not just that. It's the fact that when the PS4 came out, they said they'd price match, and they were price matching sellers, not Amazon proper, and people were walking out with PS4s for about $15.
Well, they did combat that because, and I actually had them only do it if I showed them the listing on my phone. It had to be fulfilled by Amazon, and like I had to prove to them that it wasn't like a photoshopped picture that I made, that it was on the legit Amazon site.
Yeah, I look at all these people going to stores like around Black Friday or just doing their like out and about or Tuesday shopping vids, and like I just see them buying a bunch of shit, and that's cool, and I like watching the video for that reason. But then they get everything price matched and shit. If I go to that, if I try and do that shit at my Walmart, they just look at me like I'm fucking retarded. I'm like, okay, it's $20. Okay, that's what I'm paying. It's not going lower at all. Yeah, they're like,
I actually had my local Walmart. I was going to get them to price match. I don't even remember what it was, but the Amazon listing was like $5 or $6 difference. So I asked the woman, I was like, do you guys price match? No, we stopped doing that. Like that was a bad, like I said,
yeah.
Price match? Well, we don't do that anymore. You know what I mean? So like she didn't even want to be associated. I didn't hear him. She just like went into a field ball. Like, nope, we don't price match.
I've gotten real quick, Cameron. I've gotten so triggered in those situations. I've just been like, okay, I'll pay the $5 extra. Fuck it. I'm just don't go in the back for half an hour. I'm fine. Just to fucking, you're good.
Well, it's funny because like you take things back to Best Buy or Walmart. Okay, they do the returns. I used to take things back to Target, and they would just return them still, and they do that now. But there was a period of about 3 weeks where Target snapped. And I brought back a DVD I didn't want, and it wasn't open. And Target goes, "Are you sure you want to return this?" And I said, "Yes." And they said, "Okay." And they took out a blade and opened the whole damn thing. Took out the plastic, opened it up. I'm like, "What are you doing? Hasn't been open." "Well, we need to check, sir." And now it's going in the garbage. So I was like, I mean, they gave me my money back, but they would destroy the product to make sure I didn't tamper with the product. Now they just take things back again, but there was a policy for about 3 weeks where Target wanted them to just open everything that had not been opened. And I'm like, you could have easily resold that. No. And they just threw it in the trash after I was done. I was like, wow, I know, I should have just kept it. I felt so bad. I was like, I know it's not a living, breathing thing, but it was like watching like just somebody, like a kid just getting molested right in front of you. It was like, what the hell?
Hey, that disc could have gone to the next big movie director of the world. Who knows?
I know. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's a weird world. I had an ex that worked at Walmart. She was a manager there, and she would tell me that if Walmart really wanted to, they would take like an item that they really wanted to sell, and they send scouters out to all the neighboring stores and find out what those stores are selling it for, and then they'll crash the price down to like $1.50, and then when they put those stores out of business for that product, then they jack the price up because they'll be the only one in town carrying it. So.
Yeah. Oh goodness.
We have a happier topic to end on.
I want to, just like the movie It Comes at Night, I want to send us out on a very dark note, a very dark, unsettling note. Which, if you guys haven't seen It Comes at Night, I highly recommend it. Go watch it.
Okay, quick question. What do you like more? I mean, I know one's more fresh in your mind, but I'm sure you haven't forgotten the other one. It Follows or It Comes at Night? Okay.
It Follows.
But still, It Comes at Night is an amazing movie that has to be seen at least by horror fans.
Orc, it's always amazing to come at night. You know that.
Huh? When I'm watching your videos, that just got
Jesus.
awkward. That just got awkward. No, you turned yourself down that path, buddy.
It follows is like, I don't know, that movie to me is like just a masterpiece.
Any new movie from 2010 forward, I just have to compare it to that movie, which sometimes isn't fair, but I just have to because I love that movie too.
Piz, am I correct am I remembering correctly that you liked It Follows so much you rebought it as a steelbook?
Yeah.
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 Just out of print, and I didn't get it.
It's a really nice steelbook. Nice steelbook.
Yeah.
But, yeah, love that. Love It Follows. Love It Follows. But It Comes at Night is very good. You guys should go out and see it. The marketing was a little deceptive. There's no like I really enjoyed it. Let me see if we
what? I thought you cut out on
that. I mean, like there's no monster, there's no creature, there's no evil force or anything like that.
Gotcha.
It was really good. I really enjoyed it. You guys should check it out for sure. Let's see. See what we've got going on out in the comment section. Chris Wynn says his 3-year-old loves The Real Ghostbusters on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
We've got some love for Helen's Cat tonight as well. Supergirl, Billie Jean.
Someone who I like a lot more than Gal Gadot. Say that right.
Wait, would you say that Gal Gadot is better than Halle Berry and Catwoman and Jennifer Garner's Elektra?
I'd rather watch Helen Slater and Supergirl. She was not for me. That's the nicest way to put it. I don't want to get Piz in trouble for his channel because I've had a lot of pissed off people, so I don't want to get those people pissed at this video.
That's what makes internet fun, though, Rambo. Come on, you know this.
Yeah, I know.
Wants you to know that your favorite movie is coming out on Blu-ray next month. Rambo, Star Crystal. Was that a joke?
No, I mean it's sarcastic. It's a movie about an alien that kills people, then reads an electronic Bible and becomes a Jehovah's Witness and becomes friends with the people who killed their friends. And then
start over.
It's about an alien that kills people, and then it reads an electronic Bible, and then it starts talking, becomes friends with the people who killed their friends, and then they help it set it off, and it ends with a song called like "Crystal with the Star," whatever the fuck. But some really shitty low budget horror film. That's one of the worst fucking movies I've ever seen. So I think that's why you brought it up.
You have to write that script. Jesus Christ.
It was the 80s, so cocaine.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad. I thought it was new.
A lot of coke and
like
Coca-Cola. Eli Roth. Eli Roth should remake it. It would fit him perfectly.
Oh my God! Isn't that we got bombarded with press about the Eli Roth Death Wish movie coming out? I see VOD.
In November.
That has VOD written all over it too. But
it comes out, I think, November, starring Bruce Willis.
Yep. God. No.
I'm sure.
The difference is that Bruce Willis is somebody who does action, so of course we expect him to do action. Whereas, like in the first movie, The Death Wish, the whole point was it was a regular guy who snapped, not someone who looked like he could already take care of himself.
Umbrella Entertainment is releasing a double pack of Death Wish 2 and Death Wish 3 with a bunch of extras for both. and 3 different versions, 3 different cuts of Death Wish 2, including a country it's from, but some rarely seen cut of Death Wish 2. So like 3 different cuts of Death Wish 2.
Don't they usually go for like $20 too?
Are you getting rid of your Shout Factory one?
No, I'll keep it. But I'm really excited for this Umbrella Entertainment one. So
yeah.
So Piz, down there in your man cave, do you have like a Death Wish corner where it's just like you have a shrine and it's just like posters and sign? You know, I wish I had enough Death Wish stuff for a Death Wish, and I wish I had like a Charles Bronson bust, like just his head, dude,
with a
awesome.
mustache, and, so that would be awesome.
The other day on my channel, someone asked me about TV shows I watched growing up, and I threw out a title thinking nobody would have ever heard about this, but people have. And I was talking about a show I watched when I was a kid, Sledgehammer, one of my favorites. Of David Rasche, basically playing Dirty Harry or sort of a Death Wish character. Just killed everybody, and there was a laugh track. It was fantastic.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, or you should YouTube some of those videos. Sledgehammer.
I fucking hate laugh tracks, but in this setting, it sounds fucking hilarious. So I'm gonna have to look at that. It's called Sledgehammer, is it?
Yeah, it was an ABC TV comedy.
So he'll just like blow somebody's heads off, and it's like,
Yeah, and the show ended with, I believe, like a nuclear bomb destroying the city and killing everybody in the city, and it ended with a laugh track.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
Oh, man.
Also, look up someone called Cop Rock.
Oh yeah, Cop Rock.
Oh yeah,
came out at the same time as Twin Peaks. They wanted to merge Hill Street Blues and Fame together as a TV show.
But it was a TV show, like Cop Rock.
Yeah. It was a TV show in the vein NYPD Blue, but people would sing.
Yeah, instead of fighting and shooting, they would sing it out. The cops
and
were
they'd be like, "Be careful out there." The police captain to his subordinates.
And then one of the best things on YouTube is Alan Thicke hosted a half-hour TV show telling ABC viewers that this fall they have Twin Peaks and Cop Rock to look forward to, and it's a whole like press thing for Cop Rock meets Twin Peaks. And like, what the hell?
Wow. Yeah. Stone Gassman reminded me about the Flatliners remake. That trailer came out today. Did anybody see that trailer?
I didn't see it, but I've already seen tons of articles saying this trailer makes the movie DOA, like there's some trying to be witty.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen it.
I heard it doesn't look good at all. So
Zombie Fun 100 says, fun fact, Scream Season 3 will be a reboot and Queen Latifah is writing it. 100% real.
What?
Where do I pre-order?
Oh, Cameron, we got somebody firing shots at you. Joseph produces Twin Peaks is overrated.
Oh,
that's fine.
Ouch.
Some things are harder to understand than other things. So
I can agree with that. Lynch's style is very interesting, I guess, or interesting is not a good enough word for it. Unique.
Well, I've had a lot of people combat me throughout the week when I've been making my videos, and I said, listen, this is nothing against you, but there's some people that know Twin Peaks and David Lynch's work, and there's some people who just watch Twin Peaks. It's the big difference.
Yeah.
So, but what was I gonna say? I don't know. We're talking about something, but I totally forgot.
We're talking about Flatliners and then Twin Peaks, and then someone said,
"Oh yeah, yeah." I can't even remember. Sorry.
Well, we might as well go.
Or season 3.
Oh yeah, season 3. Oh, I was going to ask. Okay, so the thing that drives me nuts is that we have DVD, we have Blu-ray, then there's this whole like wannabe 4K Blu-ray movement that's going on. I mean, but the thing is, though, when Scream comes out to buy, or other TV shows are coming out to buy, they're not putting them out on Blu-ray anymore. They're just still cranking them out on DVD. Target's, got the Scream DVDs out, and so like all these people with 4K TVs and playing their 4K Blu-rays, they still got to get this downgraded image because movie studios don't want to, even though they're shooting this stuff in HD, they're not putting it out in HD. They're just throwing them out on DVD, or because they just assume, I guess everyone's Netflixing or streaming or something like that. But I find it weird for collectors that we still have to buy DVDs of products when that show is shot in HD. That's all.
Speaking of which, wanted to ask Piz our question. Does his webcam as a poster remind me? Why is it we don't have a Blu-ray of Dawn of the Dead, but they were wasting their time with a stupid 3D conversion that no one's going to see?
That's a good question.
It's not on Blu-ray in the U.S.
It's not.
That's
there is that
question.
big. There is that big box set right over in Italy. They released.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
No one can get.
That's a looking set too. That's a really nice looking set too.
Yeah.
That's a good question. I don't know.
And then that 3D conversion like disappeared. I mean.
Well, the craziest 3D conversion I've seen, it comes from overseas. Italy released, I'm not kidding you, a 3D conversion of Bertolucci's The Last Emperor. And I'm like, who the hell wanted to see that in 3D? But all right. I'd rather see Last Tango in Paris in 3D.
I love it too when you watch people overseas. Like, I love a lot of countries on this planet, but like it'll be like a new deluxe special edition collector's limited edition of Escape from New York. It's 10 discs and it's only available in Estonia. I'm like, okay, that's amazing.
It's true. Well, guys, why don't we go ahead and let's wrap this up. And you know what? I think this is the first live stream that at least I've been associated with where we didn't reference a certain movie. And that movie actually had a birthday today. Do you guys know what movie I'm talking about?
No.
Well,
it shouldn't
look at the date.
It shouldn't be that difficult. It should. Friday the 13th.
You know, the thing that you guys have been playing all week.
Exactly.
Every morning I wake up, there's like 18 new videos from all you guys on there streaming Friday the 13th. It's the greatest thing ever.
It can be a really fun game when it's running right.
It's even caused Jay the Stingray to post a couple of videos a night. I'm like, oh my god, he's back on.
Yeah, it's so much fun. We're trying to get Cole to get it, but Rambo, if I was rich, I would just straight up buy you a refurbished PS4 because it's that much fun. I'm not even joking. Like I hope I don't know that you can just get your hands on a PS4 like soon because we have so much fun. I'm sure you've seen this.
I don't know. I watch like Pizzo's recent video about these glitches and stuff, and I don't know if it's the most appealing for me, but it seems like, I mean, for the folks who've already seen the video we did about people, like they go to the hidden spots and they cheat the shit out of you and stuff. And
yeah.
The fuck out of your game.
But it's just like, it'll start. I'm sure you've
or
seen the
kick
start
you out all the time. That doesn't sound like the most fun to me, but.
Well, when you have a lobby with people you actually know or semi-know from the internet, like it gets pretty fun because it's Jason's the one killing everybody, and then there's 7 counselors, and you'll just like we'll kill somebody in the intro, and then it'll be Jason versus 7 counselors. Counselors, you're running around, you spawn, and you're like I'll see like Jay like in a cabin, and he's raiding everything, and I'm like, what's up? And he's like, hey, faggot, go away.
When you're playing with a group of people, it's a lot of fun.
I'd honestly say I play a lot of multiplayer games. It's not my most played at the moment, but it's definitely my favorite in terms of like having a good time easily.
Chris Wynn wants to know about news on The Predator. They actually wrapped it up. It's finished. They've got it in the can. There were some pictures online of a couple of the Predators in the movie, and one picture was of the like the actors in the movie are in a tank with one of the Predators, as if the Predator is like something. I don't know. It was strange.
Like inside a military tank or on top of it?
Like they were on top of a tank, and like there were actually 2 predators, like on the tank with them. So I don't know. Maybe they were just taking a break, or maybe that was like a scene. I don't know, but it's
I was just gonna make a joke that there's a Van Damme cameo probably.
well, I mean, it's the people behind it are very competent. Fred Decker and Shane Black. So I mean, I'm looking forward to it.
I have high hopes. Shane Black was on the set of the first Predator. He's in the movie. Fred Decker and him, of course, wrote the Monster Squad together. Fred Decker, of course, is responsible for Night of the Creeps. We will ignore his other film that he directed. But Shane Black, I mean, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is really good. I thought the comedy he brought with Robert Downey Jr. and Iron Man 3 was, I didn't think the movie overall was the greatest, but I thought that when they team up together, I think it really worked. So they're not walking into this like Nimrod Antel did for Predators. I think they're taking this seriously, and they're going to have a lot of fun with it as well. So,
yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I'm hopeful. Well, guys, let's go ahead and let's call it a night here. Everybody who tuned in, to everybody in the live chat, for all the questions, all the comments. Thanks to everybody who joined me here, Rambo, Orc, Cameron. I appreciate it. And we'll have to do it again sometime soon. If you guys aren't following me on social media, do so, and you'll be notified of when we plan on doing Vlogcast number 12, which will, again, hopefully be soon. So you guys have a great night. Take care, and until next time, peace.
Later.
Oh, wait. Orc.
What's
give
up?
us a dank meme before we go. Close us out on a dank meme.
Big memes with big dreams. Okay, here we go. All right, so
I thought you did. I thought you said if you do that thing, kill yourself.
what?
The whole thing with the Amazon Prime. I thought that was a dank meme of the week.
Oh, that was a dank meme, but you gotta encore.
well, who's gonna be? I thought someone was gonna be twerking at the end of this episode.
Yeah, that's Fizz. I don't want to rip any stitches. That's too hard. Yeah.
Okay, Orc, what's your dank meme of the week?
My dank meme is, don't be so jelly. Don't put the jelly on the toasties so much. Try a little bit more envy in your life instead of being a jealous cuck fuckboy. And you might get somewhere, and people might actually like you more. So that's, I think that'll do right there. So that's it. And I think that's...
Words to live by, everybody. Words to live by, and on those wise words, we are out. Have a great, hope those words your life. So,
thank you.
Anyway, we'll see you guys again soon. Later.